Hey guys, thanks for clicking on this video. So what we got here is a 1969 Case 444 garden tractor, and basically what I want to show you guys is how I made that bracket, which is not colored in the orange. The problem basically was that the way it's designed and the angle, as you can see, the left side of the blade sits lower than the right, so when it's great for cutting ditches, but if you want to windrow some material, then it makes it a little harder because one side steps down. So here we have all our metal. We got square tube, angle iron. One of the best things you can do when you want to drill a straight hole on two pieces of metal is you can tack them together and then drill them out in the drill press. This will make it so that both holes are square. So here I'm fitting up the plate to the angle for the sleeve hitch adapter. I'm just making sure it's at a 90-degree and tack welding everything. Now I'm making the plates, and these plates are going to have various holes in a radius because what we're trying to achieve is take away that angle, that upward angle that the sleeve hitch from the garden tractor has. And in the radius, you're able to change what bolt hole you want to use. So it'll basically change the angle of the end of the blade. So I'll show you guys a little bit later. So yeah, I tack welded those two plates together again, just so I can get the first hole straight. Here I'm mocking it up. I've got one bolt bolted in it. Now I'm trying to figure out the radius and where I'm gonna mark them. Center hole punches are one of the best things you can have in metalwork. Highly recommend those. Got my golden doodle there hanging out with me in the shop. So there, I just bolted it into the stock sleeve hitch, the piece that I'm making, and here I am putting the implement attachment to the blade. His name is Arthur, and he's a good boy. Alright, so yeah, once again, I tacked this plate, and I'm just getting the tacks off. So as you can see now, the piece is kind of coming together. Essentially what I'm just doing is, if you see the orange piece on the right side that's on the tractor, there's 3 holes there. I'm basically mimicking that piece on the new piece so that I could, because that's where the blade attaches to. The blade attaches to that orange piece. So all I'm doing is making a square tube, mocking it up there, and replicating that orange square tube into the new square tube. I'll also drill out holes and sleeve them just the way the original one is. There I am figuring out the angles that I wanted. And then here I am drilling all the holes for the radius. And someone who has a keen eye might realize that I'm not using cutting oil, cutting oil liquid, or just motor oil or any kind of oil. I actually prefer to use water sometimes because the pieces that I know I'm going to paint, I prefer just not to get them really oily. So as long as you put a lot of water and keep that drill bit cool at all times, water helps out. Water works just as good in my opinion. Oh, that squash on there is looking pretty good. So now I'm going to fit up the identical piece that I'm copying. And here I am drilling the hole for the sleeve that I'm going to put in. That's the sleeve there. And also, as you can see, there's on that orange piece, maybe there'll be something, another picture coming up, but on the orange piece, I just put in any kind of little spacer. I just had 1/8" rubber mat that I put in there, and that's so that this new metal piece can rest up against that metal mat which is an 1/8" away from the actual metal, which would give you a little bit of play there, so that when you bolt it up, you'll always be able to bolt up that piece. Once you take away the rubber there as this little spacer, you'll never have a problem with it not, hitting the metal first before the bolts line up. So here I am finishing the welds. Piece is almost done. That's the radius for the holes. Those are the welds. And that's the finished piece other than paint. There it is installed. So now basically, as you can see on the radius, I could lower that, change the position of the bolts, and now when the blade comes down, it will always cut level left and right. Horizontally, it'll always cut level, and I can windrow some material. I'll put in a clip of me windrowing some material here. All right, thank you guys for watching. If anybody wants to know the dimensions of this piece, I'd be happy to help. Just send me an email or give me a comment with your email, and I will respond to you. Thank you guys. Have a good day.